One, I just thought we were going to get a lot of attention, and then you're going to get out there and it's going to be just like every road trip, but then you get there and you got media for a whole day, and there's people everywhere, and you get the attention that you've never been around, and it was almost more the stuff leading up was almost more exhausting than the game, because you're doing all these places, you're running from place to place, and then not to mention you're in a football stadium, so you're walking 6 miles to the next room. So it was fun. It was something I'll never forget. That arena was ridiculous. Not to mention a great game we played. Unfortunately, didn't end up on top, but that's one we wish we could have back. But hopefully, we can get a win here tomorrow night and make another trip down and go a little bit further.
And speaking of that, like with Arizona, you guys already played them last year. With Oregon, you played them, beat them last year. Is there a difference in playing a team just normally and then playing a team that's looking for revenge, maybe?
Well, maybe a little bit, but if you need motivation to play an Elite Eight game and try to get a win, then you don't have the right mindset. Everyone should go out there, especially this time of year, and just be all in and just be ready to play, because this is it's win or go home. You don't need any more motivation than that. So I don't think there's going to be too much lingering pride issues or anything. I think both teams are going to go out there, play hard. It's going to be a battle, and it's going to be fun overall, because you got to love those games. And the team that I think outwills the other team is the one that's going to win, and it's definitely going to be a tough one.
Sam, because of what you were just talking about, the exhaustion of the Final Four and everything since then, is this run in any way less fun than it was last year? Because you're getting the same questions you got last year for the most part. You're getting them 20 times over. You've been through it. It's not brand new anymore.
Well, it's still fun. You don't get bored of winning games. So I think it's pretty fun. And it'll be cool to go back to back. That's something that'll be we'd be very proud of. So I think this group of guys is always going to have fun no matter what the circumstance. And obviously, being out here, being one step away from a Final Four, it doesn't get much sweeter than that. So I wouldn't say it's any less fun. This is still pretty cool to us. We're going to enjoy the moment and not take it for granted.
Sam, the Arizona guys say that loss to Wisconsin last year has stuck with them for a year. Can you understand that? Because it's kind of like you in Kentucky.
Yeah, I can. I still remember. I still think about that Kentucky game once in a while, just how close we were to playing for a national championship, and it kind of sticks with you. You kind of have a I don't know, maybe a jealousy. When I watch Kentucky, I'm like, man, why couldn't we have gotten that one? They just outwilled us for one possession. That type of thing. Whenever you lose, it's gonna, as a competitor, it's gonna linger a little bit. And this summer, as Rondé kind of said, I saw him at one of the camps. He's like, "Don't talk to me," and he was like, "Don't talk to me. I don't mess with you." He was obviously joking, but it's still stuck with them. And he's like, "We're going to get you next year," and here we are in the Elite Eight, and it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, they say Cabona said they figured they'd see you at some point in the tournament. Did you figure that too?
Well, it was all. It all depends on what the seedings match up and what regions you're in. But with two good teams, there's always a chance that they're going to meet, especially with two teams that have the caliber to go deep and make a deep run. Those guys weren't wrong in that prediction, and here we are again in the Elite Eight, and this is what else can you want as a basketball player in Staples Center, in one of the best arenas in the nation, and one of the biggest stages.
Sam, you said on SVP today that you and Aaron Rodgers have a pretty special relationship. Can you describe what he's done for you in terms of helping you deal with the highs and lows of being a high-profile athlete?
Well, it's nice to be able to talk to someone that understands it, but he's at a whole different level than me. He gets way more of that, the highs and lows, but way more highs too. But it's just nice to be able to talk to someone that knows what it's like to be an athlete, and but at the end of the day, he's just a good friend, and he's been there through everything the past 2 years, and if I'm not playing well, he'll tell me to keep your chin up. It's gonna get better. You're gonna be fine. Everyone goes through lapses where they're not feeling themselves, and then when you play well, he lets me know how proud he is of me and stuff. So it's cool to hear from him, and we've grown a pretty good relationship, and looking forward to continuing it.
Does he seriously text you after every game?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How did you get that close of a relationship with him?
I don't even know how I got it. I don't know.
Was it all off of last year, or was it you know him before that?
Well, yeah, I met him in high school a few times, and just seemed to be kind of hit it off and just talk normal to him. And I wasn't. Yeah, it was. We were at convention or something, and I met him. I was sitting next to him, and we talked for a little bit, and then from then on, when we saw each other, we'd kind of greet each other. But then it kind of grew. Last year he was, kind of just tell me, shoot me with a little blurb saying, rooting for you guys, and then it grew from there. So yeah, it's been good, and he's a really good guy.
Arizona's personnel has changed, but whenever you watch film of them, do they look any different?
Well, they obviously, they play. They have a brand of basketball that they play. A lot of times, people say we play very similar basketball. A little less possessions in the game, but we still have some explosive offense, and then we like to get after the other teams in the defensive end, and that's pretty. It's a pretty good combination, a good offense and a good defense. So they play their style of basketball. They have a lot of the similar players, but with the added dimensions of Johnson. But they're a good team. They play very similar to last year. Just everyone's a year better, a year more of experience, and they've shown all through the year that they're one of the elite programs.
Sam, you ran into Rondé a couple times over the summer. What was your experience like with him? Did he bring up that game at all over the summer?
Yeah. Rondé brought it up, jokingly, kind of, saying he's going to get us back. Grew pretty close with him. They grew especially close with Stanley Johnson, because he was obviously my exact position, so we were always doing drills together and stuff, and going places together and matching up against each other. So it was always fun to go against him because he's one of the best players in the nation, regardless of what class he's in. You love going up against competitors like that, but off the court, guys that just like to hang out and have fun, and those two are two characters. Just like to have fun, and very easygoing guys, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun to go up against them. I've had a good time going up against people I know in this tournament so far. Just saw two more guys that we can hopefully get some bragging rights on, and but also two very good competitors.
What camp was that?
They were both at the KD Skills Academy and the LeBron James one as well.
What's going to be the game plan going up against Brandon Ashley? Last year he was out. This year he's back in.